Okay, so are they coming down? Yep, I think they are coming down. Alright, so we're going to have to charge in very, very soon. Probably now. Yep, let's do it. Come on, let's do this. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Warsword Conquest. Now, when we left off, we were awarded a village very close by to an Empire town, and I kind of thought to myself, yeah, this is probably not going to be the greatest thing ever, because it's more than likely going to be targeted by huge amounts of different vassals, and we have one right here. Amusingly enough, this is not actually an Empire vassal, even though there is an Empire vassal joining in on the fight. So you can see here we have 68 against 141, so we're going to be gaining a pretty decent amount of renown for this. But, on the other hand, we're probably going to be losing quite a few units. Now, I was running around in the nearby, well, Bretonnian area as quickly as I could get over there at least, and I was attempting to try and find some grain, and I actually did find some grain, and I was on my way back, and then the village started to get raided, and suffice it to say, this is the result of that. There is actually a vassal from the Empire who has about 230 units, and let me just say, he is fielding probably the most powerful army that I've seen so far in the way that he's using his units. He just has so many high tier units that I just really don't want to fight him. Really don't want to fight that guy. But if we can, I'd like to try and kill the Kislev vassals, because the Kislev vassals right now are fielding about 130, and I think in general our demon forces should be able to overrun them pretty easily. I mean, you can see right here how effective we are at eliminating them, and we've fought the Kislev quite often, and I think we kind of know what they are all about. However, as I say, the fellow with 230 odd units is fielding some units that I've never seen before, and well, maybe we can see him and then you'll be able to see what kind of units he has. Maybe those units are not actually that good, but I think they are pretty decent, so it's something that I'm probably not going to want to get involved in, at least at the moment. Maybe if we had about 100 units, I might decide, hey, yeah, okay, might be an opportunity to, you know, seize it and maybe see how we can do there, but I don't know about it. Oh, Erasmus actually gained a kill. Look at that. Naked Man, none other than the Naked Man himself. He did get a kill, very nice indeed. We're able to actually get a couple of kills ourselves as well here. And hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more as well as time goes on. It would have actually been cool for me to take those guys prisoner, but my mace at the moment is just doing so much damage that I don't really need to do that. I mean, yeah, it would kind of be cool to do it anyway, because we always need money, don't we? But at the moment, I mean, we are in profit as far as I'm aware, but there you go, there's a victory. I'm actually kind of surprised, wow. That is crazy. How did that even happen? I mean, I guess it's because they just kind of charged in, didn't really do too much, but there you go. There's only 4 left. I kind of don't want to tell my units just to auto-resolve this. I think auto-resolving is going to result in us losing more units than we would otherwise lose in this particular fight here. So I'm just going to tell my highly advanced cavalry, which is probably the main reason why we're actually getting anywhere at the moment. I mean, how many cavalry do I have right now? 24, and I have 40 infantry, and the enemy before had about 9 Griffin Legion units. And if you can imagine all of these 20 cavalry going against 9, they're pretty easily gonna die. So yeah, there you go. And this is the Empire vassal that we actually defeated in a previous episode, as far as I'm aware. So he's obviously not incredibly powerful, but otherwise they both managed to escape, which is not very good. But we are going to be able to take a very, very lucrative sword right there. I mean, look at that. 3,500 to sell that? That's pretty crazy. Alright, well, I think we're pretty good to move on now. Alright, so here you go. This is the fellow. He is the Marshal. I have no idea. but he has 11 great swords, he has 10 Empire Marksmen, he has 2 units called Phalangan Firelocks, I have no idea, and he has some handgunners, he has Reiksguard Knights, Blazing Sun Knights, Warrior Priests, Karoberg Great Swords, and also Knights of the White Wolf. He has 3 of those, so... yeah, you can kind of see why I'm like, ooh, we should probably not fight that fellow. He's probably going to be a little bit too powerful for us at the moment, which is not great. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to level up. Oh yeah, we got 7 chosen now. Very nice indeed. And I think most of our people are actually on mounts now, with the exception of the Nurgle unit and a couple of Warriors of Khorne and some Chaos Pit Fighters and so on and so forth. But anyway, let's go and speak to our companions here. It would probably be about time for me to start leveling some other attribute of theirs, but as we know, they kinda need strength to be able to use some of the more advanced armor. And at the moment, they don't have that. They don't have that ability, so I'm gonna have to continue leveling up their strength as much as possible. Although Erasmus can technically use, you know, the... he can technically use the armor. We're kind of just using it as a running joke a little bit. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look here. What is he going to be speccing into? I think I'm just going to continue speccing him into strength, and we're just going to eventually give him some armor when I have some leftover money or something along those lines. But we're going to need to continue leveling up the others' strength levels, and hopefully they'll be able to wear some armor soon. And Oggy Boggy is doing pretty fine. He has a plus icon by the side of his name at the moment, but he hasn't actually leveled up since the last time. He actually just has 1 skill point to spend, and we're kind of waiting until he gets a little bit more intelligence to spend it. So anyway, let us continue onward. Now, here's the thing. I don't know whether we're going to be able to take this guy. It's highly unlikely. We're going to take care of this Empire Patrol first, and then we're going to see whether we can lure the... Kislev vassal, because there is still another Kislev vassal nearby, away from our village, and maybe we'll be able to then, I don't know, divide and conquer them. I highly doubt it, personally. I think we'll probably lose very, very easily if I decide to go in against this Empire vassal, so I'm not entirely sure I want to do that. Whoa, okay, I get it, thanks very much, thank you. Now, thankfully, I do have some pretty decent armor, and these Empire Militia Cavalry are very... well, they're not exactly the highest tier of unit, so nothing really for me to worry about there. 25 Cavalry is going to go streaming across the map, and hopefully going to eliminate these 15 enemies very, very fast. And otherwise, hopefully we'll be able to, you know, take some of these vassals prisoner. I think that would be kind of nice, because that would then... give us an opportunity to sell them for a ransom. Alright, so there's the result of the Empire Patrol fight. Pretty easy. And, ooh, we actually get a Warrior of Khorne here, as well as a White Lion. I'm not going to be able to take this, because thematically, I cannot. So we're going to just have to leave that where they are. And we're just going to have to continue onward. Alright, so this is where it gets a little bit difficult. Now, I want to take Middenheim, eventually. I'd like to take it. I mean, there's 424 here. They have, what, 54 great swords. Am I correct in thinking that the great swords are actually very, very strong units? Because I seem to remember that they are really good, but maybe that's just me thinking incorrectly. Oh well, never mind. Let's have a look here. See if I can... oh, hello. Okay. Well, everyone seems to be wanting to attack me right now, and let's just see if I can kite them a little bit. Ah, here we go. Yeah, divide and conquer. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we should be able to take this guy out. The Kislev units, as we have seen in previous, shall we say, faction showcases that I've done in the past, they are not the best. They do have some pretty strong units, but for the most part, these vassals are probably not going to be fielding enough of them to be able to make any kind of impact on the fights that they're going to have with us. So that is obviously a thing that they really, they just don't know really what they're doing. So hopefully we're going to be able to eliminate them fast, and then we'll hopefully be able to separate the very, very strong Empire vassal and the weaker one, and then take them out as well. Now, obviously, the 230-odd vassal is going to be, I think, probably, I don't know whether to say impossible. I think it's probably going to be almost impossible for us to eliminate him that easily. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to use some tactics here. It's about time that I decide to use some tactics, and their cavalry is on the left side of their army, which is fantastic. So I can basically tell my cavalry to charge in from the side and absolutely wreak havoc. And that is exactly what we're going to try and do. So you can see them coming in there. I obviously do not have a mount, so I will not be able to join them. But this is going to result in many, many casualties for the opponent. And yeah, they are just going to go absolutely crazy on them, and our Chaos Trolls and Nurglings and all kinds of other things are going to be preventing our, well, preventing their, shall we say, cavalry from doing anything. So this is great. Very nice. And did you see at the initial charge, they actually did have a vassal, oh not a vassal, they actually had a unit come in with a lance and attempt to take out one of our Khorne, this guy right here, this warrior of Khorne right here, and his shield is gone, but he survived, and so that's all that we really need, isn't it? Yeah, so that basically stopped the remainder of the lancers from actually doing anything, because they all seemed to run into each other at that point as well, so that was really, really fantastic luck for us. And of course we are going to have to deal with their reinforcements, but that should be okay. I'm actually going to tell my cavalry to come back here a little bit, because as you can see the Griffin Legion are actually fighting back a little, because obviously they have the, they kind of have not the element of surprise, but they have a bit more of mobility than we do, because our guys are getting bogged down in being attacked. And indeed, wow, Erasmus, you're running in there like nothing else. Good work. Yeah, but you can see here that we are actually losing a couple of units to death, which is really not very good, but, well, that's just a side effect. We just have to take those losses. I am going to have to get on my boat sooner or later and actually head back to... Oh, wow, we just lost a Chosen. That is not good at all. That is really not very good. Oh well, anyway, as I was saying, we are going to need to head back to the Realm of Chaos territory very, very soon, and maybe attempting to get some more Chaos Trolls or something along those lines, because right now we are losing quite a few units, and if we want to... This kind of shows me that I'm probably going to be unable to eliminate the fellow with 230 units, because if I'm having trouble against this guy, and I mean... Here's the point. This guy obviously has some pretty decent units, and we already know that the Empire Vassal has some pretty high tier guys as well. So if we are going to attempt to take him out, we're going to need better units, and that's kind of... that's going to be a bit difficult for us to even get, because at the moment we're fielding some pretty powerful units. I mean, the only thing that we really don't have is fully maxed out Chosen. That's literally it. And I mean, yeah, some of our units are pretty low tier that cannot level up. I think we actually do have a Goblin in our army, and we also have our Nurglings, but that's not really that much, you know. We don't have too many of those, and yeah, they're obviously going to be, well, let's have a look. They're obviously going to be, you know, not extremely useful. So we lost 2 Plague Bearers, that's not very good. We lost 1 Bloodletter, that's also not good. Noggle Crusher, not good. Khorne Chaos Knight, yeah, that's also not very good. And losing 2 undivided Chaos Knights, wow. Okay, that's not great. We also lost a Chosen, of course, as well. But we did eliminate the entirety of his army. Now let's actually just take a quick look at what he actually had here. Ah, okay. So the reason we lost many more units, and we're actually maybe almost on... I'm going to say we were almost on the verge of maybe losing there, because 25 is almost 50% of our army size at the moment. And, well, having any more go down, and having these Griffin Legion and Kreml Guards and all these things continue to do damage, they might have actually succeeded in eliminating us, which would have been pretty awful. So anyway, let's see. Ooh, okay. Now here's the thing. This is the reason why I'm like, oh yes, let me just equip this wonderful armor. No, it's Warsword Conquest. I cannot do that because obviously, you know, you need to be the right race to be able to wear the certain bits of armor. And look at that. Oh yeah, we just gained a huge amount of levels. We've gained a level. Rymort, Zarhaz, Kazdon, and Oggyboggy have advanced in levels. So now we can go over to Oggyboggy and actually spec him into some more intelligence. And I'm just saving up these skill points here because there's not really anything else that I want him to spec into, with the exception of maybe Weapon Master, but I'm going to need to level up his agility even further, and I kind of just wanted to focus him on leveling up his medicinal skills. I think that is probably the best way to go. So I think in general, if I still have a huge amount of skill points left over when he gets to 18 intelligence, I'm probably going to spec him into engineer or something along those lines, because right now I don't think we have an engineer, and if we're going to be launching some sieges in the near future, then obviously that is going to make a big, big difference. So we'll just level up Kazdon in some strength, and Zarhaz in some strength as well. There we go. These guys obviously have some pretty low HP, which is not great, but hopefully once we have given them the suitable amount of strength, I'm hoping to get them about 15 or so strength before we start leveling their other stats, and then we'll hopefully be able to get them a decent enough shield, and then go on from there. I mean, they have nothing in shield right now either, which is pretty awful, but hopefully them having about 5 in power strike maybe, and maybe 4 in iron flesh, and then being able to level up shield would be the way to go. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because obviously at the moment, you know, I might not even have enough money to be able to field a whole bunch of newly equipped companions and things like that. So anyway, let us go and see what we should spec into. Well, it seems to me that we should just spec into Charisma, because we are almost there. We just need one more level to be able to get Charisma 12, and that will give me another point in leadership. And, well, it will give us another 5 troops to command, which I suppose is pretty good, considering our renown gains have actually not been that good. They haven't been that good, so yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something along those lines, and maybe just get a little bit more space, and of course reduce the wages that we're currently having to deal with. Alright, so this is the main issue here. I'm actually kind of hoping that my weekly budget is going to come in at some point, because at the moment I'm not really able to fight back against these guys. I'll be able to kill this guy, maybe, but just bear in mind that many of my units are currently injured, and I'm only going to have 42 to field in the entire battle in comparison to before. So let's just see what I can do here. There we go, we've separated him. But bear in mind this guy has Reiksguard Knights, and I think he also has Blazing Sun Knights, which I'm very worried about. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to rush over there as soon as possible and see if we can place ourselves on the top of the riverbank, because I've noticed there's actually a river here. So this is going to be the only thing we can really do to give us a slight advantage if he does not cross the river in time, that is. If he crosses the river before we actually get over there, then we might have some issues, because cavalry against cavalry, I don't think we're going to win that fight anymore. So let's see. Maybe we'll win it. It really depends. If he decides to go into the river first, then we're going to charge him in the river as he comes to our side of the riverbank, and that is hopefully going to result in some pretty nice advantage for us. But obviously he has ranged units. We don't actually have any ranged units as far as I'm aware. Yeah, we don't. Unless some of our infantry or cavalry has, you know, thrown weapons or something. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do anything to them. Okay, so are they coming down? Yep, I think they are coming down. Alright, so we're going to have to charge in very, very soon. Probably now. Yep, let's do it. Come on, let's do this. Okay, now this is going to be very, very... Oh dear. This is bad. This is pretty bad, actually. Hello, who are you? Go away, thank you. Okay, so I'm getting swamped a little bit here. I'm not particularly happy about that. Could you just Could you just die a little bit? Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so we're able to eliminate the Empire Sharpshooter. Ooh, who's that? Let's kill him. That is a Blazing Sun Knight. They're not that difficult. They are not that difficult. Oh, the Warrior Priest is obviously getting some healing right there. I remember actually playing the MMORPG Warhammer Age of Reckoning a long time ago, before it was shut down, obviously. And I remember Warrior Priests in that game being extremely powerful, so that's the reason why I'm a little bit dubious of them at the moment. I remember them being able to run around in the PvP areas and literally having, I don't know, five goblins and, you know, all kinds of other of my allies on them, and then just being like, oh, I'll just heal this up, no problem at all. Yeah, that's usually how it used to go. So yeah, here's a Warrior Priest. Okay, so there's the Warrior Priest. He is actually mounted. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, he is actually mounted. We were able to achieve victory. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I guess it's literally just because of our strategy being able to win the day there, because again, if we had allowed ourselves to let them cross the river without us attacking them while they're in it and being just stagnated there and being very, very static, we probably would have had a really, really bad time if they had become free of that obstacle. Anyway, let's take this guy prisoner. Actually some pretty nice gloves right here. So I'm actually just going to swap out some other things that are not entirely expensive. So this axe, for example, and we'll just take that axe, and we'll take the halberd as well. And that is pretty good. Alright, so we're actually getting some pretty decent gold from just defeating enemies at the moment. And of course, we are going to be able to ransom these fellows as well, which is obviously going to make a pretty big difference to our coffers, hopefully. And yeah, we also have another vassal over here somewhere in these trees. So I'm a bit... yeah, there he is. So what does he have? He has 8 great swords, 5 warrior priests, 14 Reiksguard knight. I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to take this guy on. He has 213. I'm going to have to head back to my boat and allow my village to be raided. There's nothing much more I can do, is there? No, there's nothing much more I can do. It doesn't seem like they're starting to raid it, though. So, I'm pretty happy about that. Well, anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.